Welcome back to another episode of the Chronicles of Al Figures. So I am back. I am back at it. So what I'm doing here is I am preparing for my second con ever. So back on October 13th of 2024, I turned 50 years of age, and on that very same day, I was also a vendor for the first time at a con. It was specifically the Boston Toy Con, which I had attended the year before. I really liked the feel of it, and so I did it. I took the plunge and I grabbed the table and I did pretty good. So I enjoyed it, but it's not something I want to give all my time to. I never got into making dioramas to make money. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but that wasn't the idea. So I kind of love the lane I'm in. I like the fact that I do one of a kind commissions. I like the fact that I get to kind of choose the projects. Like, there's been people who've hit me up and they want a particular thing, and it's just not something I'm interested in making, and I can say no, and that's a pretty good feeling. I don't have to say yes to everything. Sometimes people get upset, they don't understand, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, because that's how I'm gonna roll. So decided that I will do my second one, but I have to prepare. So these are the first two that I'm preparing. I did this one yesterday, and basically the floor is kind of flat, but this piece was cut up to kind of make it look a little more aged, kind of a little more disrupted. I still have to round the corners out and then paint it and put some grass and some moss and some pebbles and whatever. So last year's event again was pretty cool. I didn't sell out, and here's some of the ones that I had left over, which I will be using for this year's show, which is great. Or not this year's show, because it's not the Boston Toy Con, it's a different event. But for the show on July 19th, these two were left over for 6-inch scales, and then these two were left over for the 4-inch scales, and for its 4-inch scale. And so my goal is to get about 15 to 20 mini dioramas ready for the show. Today is June 8th. The show is on July 19th. On top of the fact that I work every day, I also, during the summertime, I help a nonprofit organization I worked for many years acquire licenses for a yearly summer festival. So I have that. I'm going to Montreal at the end of July. I just got back from Mexico this past Thursday, so a lot's happening. But I want to challenge myself to get ready for the show, as I enjoyed the first one, and yeah, get going with it. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is just kind of you guys' feedback. I've asked a few people, do you guys like it that I put all the diorama stuff in front of the vlog, or would it be okay if I did not? Would it be okay because it's my channel? But would you guys enjoy it if I kind of put it in between the other segments? So some feedback would be cool. But in this video, I'm going to show you guys some clips of the Mexico trip. I'm also going to show you guys, I think, ToyFare. So I going through my ToyFare magazines, I realized that I forgot that there was a special edition before number one came out, and this is the special edition here. So I'm going to review this one later on in this same video, and whatever else I feel like putting in the video. But anyway, feedback's appreciated, and here we go. All right, so I have carved out the two that I started the video with. So these two are all set to go, and then I have these two. So what I'm going to do with the base, with these two in particular, let me backtrack a little bit. So what I wanted to do is do kind of something a little bit different. So these are for the show. These are for the toy show coming up on July 19th. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of have different tiers, but I also wanted to double up on some of the dioramas that I make. slightly different. Like for example, you'll see that this is cut right here, where this one is a little bit different. The sizing of the bricks or of the blocks are a little different. But what I wanted to do is kind of do a tier level. So these would be kind of the bottom of the tier in terms of prices. These will be a little more expensive, and then the next one will be a little more expensive. And also, what I want to do is I want to do kind of a winter summer. So, for example, winter summer. So this one will have greenery in between the cracks. It'll be a lighter color, a little more vibrant. Well, this one will have a little bit darker and it'll have snow on it. I haven't done a diorama with snow in quite some time, so I'm gonna do the same thing with these two, but with the base. This just will be painted. It'll be some fake moss, fake snow. With this one, what I wanted to do is I had a bag of this fieldstone veneer, and it's I think it's made for miniatures. I could be wrong. I got it in this. A friend of mine had got me this big box of just a bunch of mostly dollhouse 1/12 scale beds and sofas. So this was in it. So what I'm gonna do with this is in some of the spots I'm gonna place some of these little stones, and then in between will be like some dirt. And then for the summer one we'll have some greenery. And then for the winter one we'll do the same thing with stones, place them a little bit differently, but there'll be snow and dirt. So this is where I am with this project. I'm about to start on the next set of two, which will be a little more, not detailed, but a little more, I guess a higher tier. I want to do like some stairs, and I want to do a door. So this is kind of the trajectory of this project. As I go along, I thought it'd be a pretty cool idea to have kind of a winter and summer look to similar dioramas. And I'm out. So as I start working on these two sets of miniature dials that I have wooden doors, I think I'm just going to go with a basic wooden door. It's going to look something like this. And then, yeah, this is with a frame. And then what I want to do is I want to make it an older door. So I'm going to thin out this piece. This is going to be the door. I want to thin it out, and so that I can be able to kind of cut some cracks into it so you can see some light coming from behind. I'm not sure if I've ever shared this technique with you guys. The way I usually do wooden doors is this tool. This tool is a tool that hairstylists use to clean out hairbrushes. And so it's also, I believe, a very good tool to kind of put the grooves into the wooden door. So I just usually go like a little bit of a wavy type technique to give it as close to natural wood grain as possible. I try not to go too fast, and just to kind of get as deep as possible without pulling the foam out, because it can happen, as you can see, kind of right there and there. So I don't know if you can see it. It kind of forms those natural grooves, wood grain, and so this is how I create my doors. And then I always end up throwing kind of a black wash at the very end, and it'll seep right into the marks I just made and kind of bring out that wood look. So this is going to go there. I'm going to have some stairs that are coming out here onto a base. Alright, so I have this all magnetized, cut up. Got the cuts here, the X-Acto blade cuts opened up with the pencil like I usually do. Got my trusty, this little brick rock right here. This little piece of brick has been what I've used for texturing now pretty much the whole time I've been doing dioramas. If I ever lose this, man, I'd be a sad dude. So this little guy helps kind of texture it and give it go a little bit deeper in some sections, and it has you kind of go flat here. It has this little area here. It's just a perfect little brick. So anyway, this is all set. The stairs, I'm going to glue them now. It's just 4 different pieces that are going to be glued together, and then I'll take my X-Acto and start cutting them, making it seem like they were just stones that were put together. And we are well on our way with this one, and this is one of 2. I'll be doing another one exactly like this. I may change the configuration of the stones here in terms of the sizing. I think there's like a inch and a half inch, inch and a half inch. So I may change that a little bit, but basic basic idea for the stairs will be configured a little different as well. All right. So one of the smaller dioramas that I want to create, or one of the dioramas I want to create for the toy show, is kind of a cell, a dungeon cell type of dial. So what I did is I had these bamboo skewers, I guess, at some point, and I kind of just sawed off the sharp part, and it's kind of a strong wood. I would compare it to basswood, a little stronger than basswood. And what I'm doing here is I took my Dremel, I took this tool, and I kind of did like a, just measured it out and just did these kind of smaller holes, and then I'm coming in with this other tool that gives me kind of the exact wrong side. It gives me the exact width of the dowel rod. So you got to kind of work it a little bit, but because I already kind of gave it that head start, it should pop through. And then once it pops through, I kind of shave it in a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is take these dowel rods and kind of put them through, and then I have another bamboo part, so it'll look something like this. So yeah, just wanted to share the beginning of this smaller diorama, and away we go. All right, so one of the bigger pieces, or the biggest piece I think I'm going to have at the ToyCon on July 19th is going to be this kind of medieval jail cell, and I think it's about 15 inches long. Ooh, I still have to glue this, or not glue this. I actually have to. So I'm creating this out of scraps that I have, right? So one of the things that I have to figure out whenever I'm making these dials is, because they are magnetized and they come apart, I have to think of unique ways of how to keep things in place when you do take them apart. So for example, in this particular case, this stick here, I'm going to replace this and have a longer one where they're kind of, have the pointy end on both sides. And I'm going to have like a little hole here. When I put the roof on, we'll have a little hole there, and that roof magnetized to the structure will keep this in place. So you can open and close this door. This one will have it so it's kind of permanent when the roof is in place. And then what happens is, when you take it apart, these will all be securely glued. So this will just be a separate part you can take out. So you can actually even take pictures without the bars. So this is going to be the bigger piece that I have at the show. I've started the floor or the ground on these two pieces, and I have these that I'm going to start painting this coming weekend. And I do want to cut this one up a little bit more, maybe do a little more kind of this style on the floor itself, similar to this. And this is all the scraps that I'm using for the jail cell area. I'm just fitting them in. So I fit them in over here, I take them over there, I kind of cut the corners, beat it up a little bit, then I glue it, then I measure, so I can be going back and forth from my workstation to my kitchen. And that's how this is gonna come to life. So anyway, this is the last diorama segment for this video, and the next one, hopefully these will be painted and I can show you guys what they look like. And I'm out. Peace. All right, folks, so this here is ToyFare Magazine, and this was a special Wizard publication. This particular issue was printed in April of 1997. I'm pretty sure it was the one before #1. So I'm taking a step back and going to the special, because I completely forgot that there was a special before there was a #1. So going into some of my favorite sections, the Avengers Reborn line. And I remember I never bought any of these at retail. I remember kind of finding out about them after the fact, and at the time they were groundbreaking Marvel figures. This was kind of a different take on them, with a little bit more of exaggeration with the Thor top there and Iron Man. But I don't think I ever got any of these action figures, to be honest with you. But here's just a section of ToyFare news, and we'll go to #2. And this was again some more kind of outlandish X-Men figures. You see Wolverine here, just bulky and bony. But this is, I think, when Marvel started to really, or Toy Biz really started to kind of push on Marvel and start kind of going past that Secret Wars line from way, way earlier in their history. And yeah, they had a bunch of Spider-Man and Spider-Man, a little boat type of thing. Over here we have. I love this because there was 100 figures and counting in terms of the Toy Biz Spider-Man, which is hilarious because even today there's so many Marvel Legends Spider-Man figures, so that's kind of cool. So this kind of little article on that. Over here we switch over to the spotlight, the unusual unusual suspects, and this is where they would spotlight again kind of up and coming new lines that are going to be released soon. And they had what I loved about ToyFare, it wasn't just Marvel. Obviously, it was Star Wars, it was the X-Files, so it was movie and comics. So that was pretty cool, and shows as well, vertical there. Then always one of my favorite sections of the magazine was the top 10 hottest action figures. The Spirit of Obi-Wan Kenobi definitely had that. I had a whole crap load of Star Wars figures when those released. This is kind of cool. They put Captain America with a comic book next to it, and so yeah. So this we go to the end of where there was always a price guide, but yeah. Oh, and this was the exclusive figure for this one was Kitty Pryde. I believe I got this figure. I'm pretty sure I did. And there was another section here, New Kids on the Block. This was when I guess Claymore Moore was doing the figures for, oh my god, why is this escaping me? It should be right here in my face. For Lady Deathstrike, Evil Ernie. So this is kind of an article on the background of, or an interview rather, on how they came about with the toy company, sculpting, the whole nine. So the magazine always had a lot of really cool features, a lot of really cool, 20 years later, the Force is still strong with Kenner Star Wars toys. So yeah, this was in 1997. So from 1977 to 1997, there was still a big following for Star Wars figures. Homemade Migos. Was never a huge Migos fan, but here's a section on how to create them, even using the Dremel that I still use today. Not the same Dremel, but I use a Dremel today on how to create some of these Migo figures. They always had the contests. They had a homemade heroes, so people who were into creating action figures would send photos and get published, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyway, so this I just want to go through this issue with you guys for a little bit. I love to cover this, and then we'll keep trekking along with the ToyFare guide to collectible toys. Alright, so we're walking the streets of Mexico near the hotel. Yeah, this is the I love when places have these little strips that are blocked off from vehicles, so that you can just walk them, freely walk. Yeah, so I love the vibe here. Like there's a lot of unique. Yes, kind of. But a lot of unique styles of the tellies and the shops. This is dope. over here. Very cool street. It's like being in the jungle. It is the morning after. First night here in Mexico. And I think the town is Plaza del Calming. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Or Plaza del Calming. One or the other. But yeah. This is yeah, that's funny because yesterday, let me see, this is the front. Oh, this is the side. Oh, look at this old school. Look at this buggy. You don't see these buggies anywhere anymore. What's up? But yesterday we ended up just walking around and ended up on the whole other part of the beach, and we were looking for an exit. And there's a lot of resorts on the beach, so we couldn't find one for a bit. And when we finally did, it was this particular road that led right to the corner of the place we're staying at, which was perfect. But yeah, we're gonna go back to the beach today for breakfast. All right, we are at the top of the boat ferry. Another beautiful day in Mexico, and we are on our way. I don't even know if you guys can hear or the sound is recording well with all the wind, but we are on our way to go snorkeling and check out a reef and a sandbar, I think. So things I've never done in my entire life, so I'm very excited, looking forward to it. And yeah, this just looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, I love the water. It is super intimidating because, damn, look how far, just beyond the eye's reach. But it looks amazing. All right, so we did the snorkeling, we did the sand reef, and now we're just in very shallow, beautiful colored water. That's the boat we need to get back to. Damn. Anyway, but here is Tally Ho at the land. Man, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful time. And here is the beach that I guess we're in the season where a lot of seaweed is washing up. Yo, these guys, I give them all the props in the world, performing in the heat. Look at that up there. That's wild. This is one of the little stores in the cut. I've always loved kind of this style, how the thickness of the paint allows for it to kind of come alive in a very interesting way. Pretty dope. But this is el arte no es racional. That is amazing. I love that mirror. That's fucking amazing. Walking in, I peeped this out. This is pretty dope. But yeah, it's almost like this little art alley. Another piece that I thought right off the rip, I thought looked amazing. That Mona Lisa is dope with graffiti elements. But this tiger here, man, I love this. This is really dope. Very dope. Hell yeah. One of the worst habits I feel humans have is that we're always looking for or looking into tomorrow, looking for a better future. And although it seems like it's a good idea because you want your future to be better and you want to work towards that future, I think it robs us of the current moment that you're in. And when I was raising my babies, my kids, Cito, Loon, and Abel, I used to talk a lot about traveling, about getting on a plane, exploring new countries, new cities, and I wasn't consumed by it. It was just something that I would converse with friends and coworkers, and I feel at times I kind of kept looking forward to them getting older. And although I love being a dad, and I think I was a pretty good dad, and I was a very present dad. I was at home when my kids were little. I wasn't one of these dads that hung out with friends and was never home, or when was home was just on the PlayStation. Like, I actually participated in helping raise my kids. And there are times where I think I look back and I wish I would have understood how important it was to be in the moment. And I was, but there was always kind of this thought of, you know, these kids are going to get big one day and they're going to grow older and they're going to be at the house, and then I'm really going to start life. And I wasn't really as focused in the moment as I should have been. And, you know, it's I don't have many regrets in life, but there are moments where I just wish I was there more in terms of just being in the moment, because I was physically there, but mentally at times I would just be checked out or just kind of going through the motions, right? And the beautiful thing is, because of the type of relationship that I you know had with my kids or established with my kids, the roots that I kind of planted with them, all my kids and I have a great relationship, and I love them to death, and I love conversing with them. I love seeing them become adults. I mean, my youngest one is 21, my middle kid is 27, and then my oldest is 33. So they're all full-grown adults, right? And so here I am. This is the future. And since December of 2025, I've gotten on a plane. And that's a 6-month period. I've gone on a plane 4 different times. I went to Medellin, Colombia in December. In February, I went to Tampa to my boy Chris's house to learn about 3D printing and help him out for a little bit. A few months ago, I went to the Dominican Republic. And then last week, I was in Mexico, in Plaza del Carmen, Mexico. And so I'm here. I'm in the moment that I kept talking about and thinking about when I was younger. But this time around, I'm not looking forward to the next trip. I'm enjoying these trips, and I'm in the moment when I'm in those trips. I'm taking it all in. I'm smelling the air around me. I'm seeing the sights. I'm feeling my feet hit the ground. I'm speaking to the people and appreciating the conversations, and just finally learn how to be in that moment, because this is where I kept talking about. So in the past, I would look forward. So instead of looking forward now to the next trip, which is Lima, Peru in December is like the next big trip. I'm not looking into any information about Lima, anything like that. I know it's coming. I'm still here in this moment. I'm still a week removed from Mexico, and still feeling how good it is to travel. And as I go forward in terms of this year, I look forward to, I'm gonna be a vendor at a Toy Con in mid-July. I'm looking forward to that, and preparing for that, but not missing how important it is to be in the moment of every minute of your life and not looking down the road. I've been working for my job now for 20 years, and in 5 to 10 years I'm going to retire, and I'm probably going to leave the States. I'm probably going to live in another country for a year or two just to experience that. But I'm not really looking at that now. I'm not looking around to see what countries. I'm not really focused on that. I'm focused right now, right here, every single day, every minute. I just want to share that with you because I think it's important to hear. Whatever you are dealing with in your life, just be in that moment. Just take it all in, because kids grow fast and time just ticks like a beast. It's just going, and it's amazing how fast it goes. I'm listening to Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban, or what's it called? Only Built for Cuban Links, the purple tape. And we always call it the purple tape, so I always forget what it's officially called. But, they're talking about they're in the mid-90s. That's crazy, And here we are in the 2020s, the mid-2020s, man. It's wild. So just wanted to share that a little bit. And I'm going to continue my walk. I probably have another, maybe half a mile, quarter of a mile to go. And I'm done. All right, y'all. Peace.